When my son was about 5 years old, 4 years old, my wife and I discovered that he was having trouble telling the difference between red and green colors. And it started with drawing colors or coloring in a coloring book, and he'd ask for the red crayon when he already had the red crayon in his hand. And so after a series of tests, we realized that he has a red-green color deficiency, color vision deficiency, sometimes called color blindness. And I've been working in video processing for pretty much my whole career. I know very well how to process color, how to correct for color, how to do all kinds of stupid color tricks. And so I got to thinking, is there anything I can do for my son with this color vision deficiency? Can I help improve the video watching experience, help him see more detail, see more things, enjoy video and video technologies like I do? And so one of the questions we first came up with is, what's his world look like? What does he see when we watch video or movies? What does he see? And as part of the color processing that I figured out, there's a lot of research that's been done on it, and I've used that as the basis to simulate color vision deficiency, and ultimately on the Prisma we're able to compensate for it and adjust the colors. So to answer the first question, what we have with Prisma is I have a set of tables that I can select that will simulate the color vision deficiency. The when I put up a red-green deficiency simulation, damn, I don't like that. So let's first take a look at the simulated red-green deficiency.
Good.
This table on Prisma uses, and the image we're looking at shows the standard Ishihara test pattern that is used to test for color vision deficiency. To a person with normal color vision, you will see a number or a character or a letter inside the big circle. And the patterns are specially constructed to make it difficult or impossible for people with color vision deficiency to see the details, see the shapes, or see the numbers. And here we have what a simulated color vision deficiency looks like. In this case, we've simulated a red deficiency. Let's go back. The next question, so this is what things look like to our son when we would put these patterns up. He'd get kind of frustrated. He would want to see things. He would want to give the right answer. He would want to know what I saw when I looked at the patterns. And then he would tell, I don't really see that, Dad. And then he would get a little bit frustrated at times because it was another test where it was something he was not able to see that others could, and he felt self-conscious and didn't want to be different. So the next part is, how can I compensate? What can I do knowing which colors overlap each other and appear the same? What can I do to change the colors, maybe shift the colors that appear the same into areas that he can tell the difference? And that's where I came up with a different set of tables that shift those colors that are the same into regions that he can tell the colors apart. And that's where this table is. So when I would put the standard plate up, or this image, and put my compensation table in, now all of a sudden my son could see the numbers. He would see the 29 or the 73 or the 7 or the 16, and he was really excited because now he didn't have to guess and he didn't have to be different. He could see the detail that we could see. And that was great for tests and getting through the first part so he could tell the difference. But now what does it look like in real world content when we're watching real video? Well, turns out my son also likes football. We'll also look at the simulation of what the simulated red deficiency looks like, and then we'll look at how the compensation works to bring out more detail and make it easier to tell the teams on the game. So here's a game from earlier this season. The Bills are playing the Jets. And what's interesting about this game is that one team has red uniforms, the other team has green uniforms. And for a person with normal color vision, it's pretty easy to see who's on which team. And if you believe it or not, the network received a lot of phone calls from people with color vision deficiency that it was not a good game to watch because of the coloring of the uniforms. Now, what would have made it easier for them to watch, easier for them to tell the plays and tell who's on which team, is with this type of compensation, where we can show we can shift the colors that appear the same into areas where they're easier to tell apart. Let's take a look at what the game would look like with the simulated red-green deficiency. I had the wrong table. Okay. So here, this is the, when you hear of a game and hear the network gets calls, the reality is you're thinking, how different can it really be? Well, this is a simulation, and here you can see that they're the team that kind of fades in closely to the turf is probably the green team, and the dark team is probably the red team. And you can tell a little bit, but it's not as easy to tell apart as what we see with normal color vision. Now, if we switch that over to the compensation table, it's much easier for the person with color vision deficiency to tell the teams apart and really figure out the plays and enjoy the game a lot more. It's a little easier to see the differences when we go to live video. Because of the motion, it's harder for our eyes to track the details. And so changing the colors and shifting it to make the differences more obvious really makes the game much more enjoyable. Now, another question or another thing that we figured out early on in the research for the into color blindness is there are different types of color blindness. Our eye has 3 types of cones, and those cones detect color. There's a cone for sensing red, a cone for sensing green, and a cone for sensing blue. And what a color vision deficiency or color blindness is one of those types of cones is either missing or not able to detect as much as in another person. Maybe fewer cones, maybe a problem with those cones. But there's a reason that you cannot, a physiological reason why you can't see those colors, and so the rest of your eye compensates and fills in what it can, but there's still details that you can't see. To address that issue, we have 6 different tables on the Prisma. We have a way to simulate each one of those types of color blindness, whether it's a red deficiency, a green deficiency, or a blue deficiency, so that we can see, and as a person with normal color vision can understand what it's like to not have that deficiency, or to have the color vision deficiency to not be able to see the color. And we also have a way to compensate for it. And we have those tables pre-built into the Prisma to help overcome the challenges of modern video content and the colors the way they're created by people with normal color vision to adjust and enhance the video experience for people with a color vision deficiency.